Okay, next one. I'm curious to know, if your credit score was a car, what kind of car would it be?
93 Bronco, OJ edition.
Is he a murderer?
What about you?
Oh, baby, I'm a Tesla.
Oh, my knees.
Yeah. Come on, keep it coming.
I'm curious to know, would you still have sex if you got to the person's house and they only had a blow-up mattress?
Oh, man, that's funny.
I'm curious to know, would you rather eat booty or suck toes?
Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called a Sip Me Baby One More Time. So this is a fun, flirty summer drink. What you're going to need is some gin, your choice. We're going to use a hibiscus berry flavored gin. I love this flavor. I don't really like gin, but this is tasty. 2 ounces of that. You need some sparkling wine or champagne and a little bit of sparkling water and something to garnish. We're using a lemon wheel today. So you have your cup of ice. You're going to pour your 2 ounces of gin. That might have been a little bit more. Do not judge me. We are going to open up our Prosecco. I was nervous for a minute. Give it a little splash. This gin, the color of it is just so pretty. You remember, you don't want to use a cocktail shaker with this because you do not want it to lock up the cocktail shaker. Grab your lime juice or your lime-flavored sparkling water. Top it off. Grab your garnish. We're doing a lemon wheel. Drop it in. And that is a Sip Me Baby One More Time.
Welcome back to CockTales, dirty discussions, you guys. I'm Kiki Said So.
And I am Medinah Monroe. Hey, y'all.
It's another week. It's May, and we are recording pretty close to the date again, which I kind of like. It can be hectic sometimes, but I do kind of like when we get to catch up and it's not like 3 months ago we did X, Y, Z. We're sitting here in sweaters and it's hot outside.
Right. Like, and sometimes when we get to do the catch up and it's like a quick little turnaround catch up, when we do the long time frames in between, sometimes I forget when you're really living your life and just a lot is going on. Sometimes you forget some of the little small integral things that happen or like a funny moment to like catch you up on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels good. It's
Yeah.
like, and we're back in our old stomping ground.
Yes. If you've been here for a long time, this is the first studio space that we were ever in, but they have totally changed it up.
Yeah.
It's really different. So we're back here this week and next week, testing it out and seeing what's going on. But I like it. I like the space. I like that there's not the big radio table with the board and everything in the middle.
And I always like a change of scenery. You know, right now as we kind of figure out things and search for a new studio home, it gives it a wave of, at least for me, it gives me my energy like a boost of fresh air to be in a different environment.
And what I like the most is this is the closest one to my home. Okay.
It was not far, and parking is easy today.
And it's private. So I like that. And ain't no registering, nothing. We're not worried about boots. They got security.
And you know, with
And
that
probably
being
guns,
said,
hell.
if you own an establishment and parking is difficult, let me tell I will not go to a place. First time it's my fault. I didn't know. If parking is too difficult, I'm talking about you can't really read the signs to know if you're going to get booted or towed. You don't know where to pay. You got to walk. That's y'all. No, you need to ChatGPT the parking. Get it together and figure out how to make this smooth and easy for all of us. Because ain't nobody trying to do all that.
Yeah. Speaking of ChatGPT, I've been telling everybody, and ever since we did the episode, we were talking about using AI for like regular life. I got everybody talking to ChatGPT.
My mother has lost her mind on ChatGPT.
What happened?
I finally got her using it. But it's funny because like, I was like, Mom, with everything, you don't need to tell people that you used it because it makes it not sweet. Like she was like, I want to read you something I wrote. And it was like this beautiful letter to me. She was like, I did it on ChatGPT. I was like, you didn't need to. could have kept that.
You didn't have to tell me. I thought you was making changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like using it for all kind of stuff. I'm constantly giving my girl life updates. My mom asked me if she could send me pictures because she didn't want to sign up for it.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, but she sent me pictures because she's recently moved and she wanted to redecorate and she wanted some inspo.
I did the same thing.
And so I gave it pictures, and so she has truly been using what ChatGPT has said, and she's even been doing like a few DIY projects. I mean, and it looks good. It
looks
gave great
good.
suggestions.
What I like about, I did that for my new space also. Like before I put anything in, I was like, oh my gosh, why am I stressing out about this? Because I'm not really that great at designing. Took a picture of the bare room, put it into ChatGPT, and not only did it put this really cute picture together, it said, would you like me to send links? And then it said, would you like me to send luxury links and budget links? I said, hell yeah.
Because it's my budget. You can send me other stuff so I know what to aspire to. But yeah, let me know. I want to see what's going on.
Oh my gosh, like it really is, it's a gift.
It is. Now, I was in my book club the other day, which, by the way, y'all sign up. This month, we are reading Colliding with Fate. It's a romance. There are some sex scenes. It's pretty juicy. I don't really care for romance. But they did pick a romance book, and it's not bad. I'm enjoying it
You
so
said
far.
that with your chest.
I did, because I'm like, I want to read a thriller. I need somebody getting killed.
Is there a reason why?
Why what?
Why you prefer killing over romance novels when it comes to books?
When it comes to books, I think it's because a lot of times the romance books are very predictable and sometimes even cheesy or corny. And I don't always want it to have a happy ending. I don't want to be guessing and always right. The predictability is what I don't like about the romance books. When they're not like that and there is a little something, it doesn't even have to be negative scandal, but I would like surprise, or I would like, somebody who doesn't choose what you think everybody's going to choose. And in a thriller, is usually not as predictable, from the good writers, but that's why.
Yeah.
But this one is all right. I'm not minding it because it's not so like basic. Girl meets a guy after she had a breakup or something, and now she's in love and they have amazing sex and they live happily ever after. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. The man is always rich. The girl is always, no matter where she comes from. Or it's like a Tyler Perry movie where the woman is super successful and she has to break down all these barriers to accept somebody who's not as successful. I don't want to hear some of these stories and the tropes. I just be tired.
I'm tired of it in real life too.
Yes. Anyway, so we're reading that, but one of the girls was telling us not to use ChatGPT. I came up with all these games for us to play, and I let her explain to me what the issue is with ChatGPT, and I heard you, sis, I did. She said that, it's bad for the environment.
ChatGPT?
Yes, because of wherever the servers or something like that. I don't know, computer stuff. Wherever the computer stuff is housed, because they have like physical things that are somewhere in like Idaho, Indiana, one of those states that I wouldn't go to. It uses a lot of water because it has to cool those things. And so every time you search something, so somebody in the club was like, well, what happens when you search on Google? Like, what's the difference? How much water are we using then? Then I was like, well, when is it going to happen? Like the end of the world or whatever. And so she's like, maybe like 200 years. And I was like, ooh, I'm so sorry to those people. I will not be here. I'm still using ChatGPT, and we're not going to not play the games because I already did the search. So the water is gone. Anyway, I don't know. I
get it, but I'm also
I get it, but
when people are that extreme, I can listen to it more when you are like really extreme. Like you're one of those people where you've gone off the grid and you don't live off anything that's ruining the environment. If you're using hairspray, if you buying the weave, if you are eating meat, if you're doing all the things that still contribute to the loss of society at one point one day, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to use ChatGPT.
I mean, even if you are off the grid, I don't care, you one person. And really, in the grand scheme of 7 billion people.
And I do appreciate
y'all
those
gonna
people.
Be mad. All the environment people going to be mad, but
I appreciate the people. I do,
I do.
But it's just like, what do you want me to do? I need happiness.
I do make some changes.
I do. I do my best at what I can do at my level. Mm-hmm. I went and I went and volunteered at MOA last week. And
what's MOA?
Meals on Wheels for Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And I absolutely loved it. Do you know about Meals on Wheels, Atlanta? Okay, I didn't, and I thought I didn't. You know how you just be talking and don't know what you're talking about? Well, maybe not you because you're a Virgo. But I was like, I always thought it was feeding the homeless. Meals on Wheels is feeding our seniors. And Girl, they got my heart. This is not no ad. I really was moved by a day of volunteering with them, packing up the lunches so that these seniors who wouldn't be able to eat, it would be more difficult for them to get meals. They deliver them 2 meals. They get 2 meals a day. People come pack the lunches. They found out that the seniors, you know how much we love our pets. They were feeding their food to their animals. So now they teamed up with some humane society in Atlanta. I don't know which shelter. And they also give them food for their cats and their dogs, puppies and kittens. And I just thought that was
Kittens.
I just was like, oh my gosh, this is so needed. And there's a waiting list. They're not government funded. Like I just totally, I gave back to the elderly
beautiful.
people. It was just so needed. They also, they have a nice little space. We might need to look at that. You can rent their spaces and all of the money goes towards helping the seniors. And it's actually really nice. Everybody was pulling up thinking it was going to be like rough or like.
Is it the one on Bellmead? Off Bellmead?
Yes,
okay.
it looks like a little lounge. I was like, y'all got hookah? It looked like a hookah
Did
girl was
they?
about to come out. No, they didn't. I don't know now. I don't know. But I just had to throw that out there. So I do what I can for what matters today. That's
While
what
we're
I can
here,
do.
we're still here.
Yeah.
I didn't make a baby to live on and tear up the world. That's my contribution.
Come on now. I don't litter.
I don't really use paper plates like talking about it. You know, I prefer to just use my same dishes, reuse that same stuff. A little bit goes a long way. I don't like paper straws though.
I can't get, and as much as I do love turtles, because I love turtles. I'm about to get one tattooed on my forearm, but
Girl, what?
I love turtles, and so
Why do you want the turtle on your arm?
because I have decided that I'm going to get a little sleeve, but a sticker sleeve. I don't want everything connecting. I don't want all the tattoos connecting. So like I want them to all look like little stickers. And so I want this side to be my sea life because I really like animals. Ooh, I'm a little ashy. And this side to be like moon, stars, and like earthy stuff. And like the 2 worlds on different sides
the
of my arm.
water and the earth and sky.
Yeah.
Okay. When you gonna get started?
So I already got started.
I mean, with the next, with what? Because I've seen all of these. None of these are new, right?
No, none of these are new.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do my turtle maybe next month. I don't know. Maybe next month.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of tattoos. I have always been nervous about tattoos in the summer because of the aftercare.
Right.
Well, whatever. My last tattoo I got, it's butterflies. Me and my sisters all got butterflies and we got them in different places. Well, not all my sisters. 3 of us did it. And the other sister, one of my sisters who didn't do it, we already have a matching tattoo. And then the other sister, I mean, she's a baby girl. She's 12. She can't get no tattoo.
She can do a little sticker.
But we got butterflies and it's on my side. I always forget about it. And sometimes I see it in the mirror like, what's on me? And I'm like, oh, I got a tattoo right there. But I got that in the summer and it was itchy. And I was like, every time I wanted to go to the pool, I wouldn't because I couldn't remember the rules.
Yeah.
Till it healed up. Yeah. But whatever. Anyway, what else have you been up to?
Okay, Meals on Wheels for Atlanta. Okay, I don't know when this episode is coming out, y'all, but
Thursday.
It is coming out Thursday. Okay. I went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where all of my family is from, my mom and my dad. So all of my family is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We just are coming off of Mother's Day. And it was a stressful trip because there's just a lot going on in life right now. And you ever had like a lot going on in life and then your family's like, we need you to be here. We need you to be here. And there's like a part of you where you're like, no, bitch, I'm not coming. Like, I can't come. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to make some shit happen. Yeah. But then you have I have like a moment of silence with myself. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable for the people you love. And my grandmother, she had taken a little turn and dealing with a little dementia. And my mom was like, she's gonna be in Pittsburgh all month. They're taking turns taking care of her. And so she was like, why don't y'all come here for Mother's Day? And then my sister, she also was kind of having that sense. She was like, it's my son's birthday. And then I was like, I think we're handling this the wrong way. We ended up going, long story short, we ended up going to Pittsburgh and I met my sister in DFW, was able to fly with my nieces and my niece and my nephew, my dog, my sister. And it was just fun being on the plane together. Going to Pittsburgh, got a rental car. We went, spent some quality time with my grandma. And, it's just so interesting, like spending time with someone who is deep in dementia. There are very sad moments, but Kiki, there are some very funny moments. Like there were several moments where like my grandma would be like, and what are you doing? And I'll be like,
like she checked out of what was actually happening and just came back different.
And so you just rehab the same conversation.
Just go with it.
Yeah, I gave her a bracelet that says Mary. That's her name for Mother's Day. And she was like, several times, this is such a beautiful, you know where I got this from? And I would tell her, and then she'd say, this is such a, do you know where I got? And it would just be like, and it was just such.
At least you know she meant it if she kept saying it was so beautiful every time.
Right, she meant it. And it was just, and there were moments like that. But then there were these beautiful moments where you know who she didn't forget?
What?
Her sister. When my Aunt Rana would call, she ain't forget, they call her RJ. And they would just get on the phone and crack. It was like she didn't have dementia. She doesn't forget some of the long-term stuff. It's the new stuff. And it was just interesting to really look at people and study people who have dementia because like I said, some moments are really sad. And you're like, wow, watching my mom deal with it because that's her mom.
Yeah.
But then there are still some funny moments. Like my grandma will eat and then be like, y'all just want me to die and that's why y'all aren't feeding me. And we'll be like,
you just ate
a big meal, Graham.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, but it was good quality time.
Yeah.
And did that for Mother's Day, and I didn't want to leave.
Oh,
I didn't want to leave. I really didn't want to leave. Just sometimes I envy people who really decide not to leave the city, the hometown that they grew up in. Not often, but there are moments when I'm like, I get why you don't leave. You get to just walk down the street to your granny's house or drive down the street to your sister's house, and we're all so spread out. So the moments are just really special.
Yeah.
My dog had a stroke
no.
and a seizure, and I'm just like,
does she have epilepsy?
Well, she couldn't get like a thorough. I just took her into a vet, and they were like, "Well, does she have a vet home?" And I was like, "Yeah, but Banfield is not." They were so busy they couldn't see her. And Kiki, when I tell you, I was so traumatized. I fell on the floor like she was a human child, and I was like, "Wow!"
At the vet?
No, I was at home.
Oh, okay.
And she just started. She did it once with my sister because my sister has had her, and I was like, "Okay, I'm glad she's good." And then when she did it with me, I was like, literally today, and I was like, what is happening? And she was just screaming in agony. Her eyes were in the back of her head. Her body just went limp. And then she came back. She was just looking at me like, help me. Like, help me. I didn't know what to do. I just held her body and was like, I don't know what to do. I'm screaming.
Yeah.
It was, so they think it was a stroke and a seizure, but we'll know for sure when I can get her in on Friday. And I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot. Like, she's an actual senior now.
Dang. I don't even think about that when it comes to your pets. Don't even
think about it. And she's in a diaper because she can't hold her bladder. And I'm just like, bruh.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, when I think about how much I love my dog, she has been with me through every up and down, through all of my 20s, most of my 30s. Like, it's just weird because you know that they are not going to be here forever, but it's just, you just, like you say, you just don't think about it. And she's never shown signs of senior citizenship. And now I'm just like,
it's here.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here. So nursing Shy and taking care of her. And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to put her on her little senior diet and just make sure she has good quality living.
That's really all you can do. Make somebody comfortable. Make her comfortable.
Yeah. Before you catch me up on what's been going on with you, I want to let everybody know, I have a condo for sale, and if you would like more information on it, I'm not going to bore y'all with all the details right now, but it is beautiful. It's in Midtown. It's in the $800,000 price range. If you know somebody who might be interested, or you might be interested, hit me up, slide in my DMs, and we can figure something out. Kiki, what you been up to?
Let's see. So when is the last time I saw you? At the end of April. This, I don't know what else been going. Okay, so I'll start with the weekend because this is as far back as I can remember today. My brother was here for the weekend. My little brother, he was passing through for work, so I got to spend some time with him. I didn't see my family for Mother's Day and all of that, but I did hang out. I did hang out with Sean and Walker and her fiance. So it was just nice to be around some family. We ate crawfish. Y'all know I love me some
really
crawfish.
like crawfish.
And the season is almost up, so I really need it like daily. I wanted some today that didn't quite work out. I ended up having some bereavement catfish. So earlier today, I found out that my grandfather passed. And so I've been a mess all day. So if my mood goes up and down, that's what's going on. But I still wanted to come and do the show because to me, it's still something therapeutic about being able to sit and chat about whatever we're talking about today. And we still got some stories. We still have actual topics. The whole episode is not a catch-up episode. But I was just in my feelings today. And then I didn't know what to do. I was really acting crazy. Like, just like I thought I was going to act is how I was acting. Like, I had a few wall slide moments. What is that song by Mariah Carey? The sad one? Someday?
Butterfly?
No, it's like One Sweet Day or something like that. And maybe Boyz II Men is it. And that has been playing all day. I was looking for
that's a rough one.
And then I decided, you know what, I really want some catfish. Then I was like, I was talking to my friends and I was like, what did I say? I was like, I don't know where to order it from, but maybe I should just cook it because I don't know if I can handle disappointment today. So I cooked it and I'm like, I am crazy. Why am I sitting in the kitchen cooking? What am I doing? And then I'm like frying the catfish and I try to play The Sims. And I was like, oh, I got to record. My hair is looking a mess. It was just a crazy day. Whitley was worried about me. She was like, what is going on? I had a few moments where I was just like in tears. So anyway, I was talking to my aunt. And we were trying to decide what the plan is going to be and what do we do from here and when are we leaving? And I was just like, and y'all tell me how y'all feel. I feel like, first of all, I'm the grandchild, not one of the children. I don't think that I have a lot of say-so in what's going on. I kind of feel like it's going to be a lot of emotions. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go right now. I want to stay put and then give it some time and go. I think emotions will be high. I would like for most of the arrangements to be solidified before I get there. And I just kind of feel like I'm gonna be in the way or stressful. But all day I've been going through pictures and I'm just really glad that I have so many good memories with him. And so if you still have your family, just call him today. Make sure you talk to him. I did talk to him this weekend. I got to see him recently. We've spent time together. We've always had like a good relationship. And I was cracking up when I was getting ready to come here because it was like, he was really trying to listen to CockTales. And this is my granddaddy that's the preacher. And so I used to tell him all kind of stories. I wonder if he's looking at me like, oh, so this is what you've been doing.
Run it back, Gabriel. Can you show me what they was talking about last year? No, go take it back to the beginning.
I told him that like, oh, it's like a radio show, Daddy. Like, you just got to catch it. And it's like during Bible study. It's during church. You don't need to listen to this. I don't want you to know how much of a whore your granddaughter has been.
Now he knows.
Yeah. But don't come whoop me or nothing. Don't come get me about it. Anyway, I am trying to make sure that I think about those good times, think about those moments. I was going through pictures and I'm so glad that I like to take pictures. And when he lost his eyesight, I didn't take as many pictures. And sometimes it was just like, would I want someone to take a picture of me when I'm looking crazy or like other things? But I kind of do wish I would have taken more pictures anyway, not necessarily to share with other people before my memories. He had a lot of accidents, a lot of like broken bones. There's several times he's got bandages. I mean, they were getting in accidents and it wasn't funny at the time, but now I can kind of laugh about it. And I laughed about it with him. Y'all, he fell off the side of the house one time.
You told me that.
Then another time, my grandma was just trying to get him out. He was going to dialysis. And you know how they have like those vans or whatever that will do a lift to get the wheelchair in and make it easier. Because my grandma's old too. She's 80. She'll be 81 in a couple weeks. She like hit a dip in between like the garage. You know how there's like creases in between in the driveway. So like going from the garage, wheeling him out, she hit a dip and fell out. Next thing you know, he has a Band-Aid on his forehead. I mean, he was fine after that, but I'm just like, y'all
Were
get
they
y'all
laughing when it happened or
not
no?
when it happened, but later. And it's just like, Lord have mercy, what is going on? Anyway, he definitely lived a full life. He has done so many things, and he was like such a great example of what I think a man should be, what a father should be. I don't know about the husband part because I wasn't in their business like that. You know, I stayed in a child's place when it came to that, but he was just a great guy. And so I'm happy that he's not in pain, but it is hard. So if I'm acting more erratic than usual, just know that that's all it is. I'll be all right. I didn't do any self-medicating before I got here, but I've got my wine now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be slurry today.
But I just want to tell you as I touch your knee, soft.
Oh, thank you. It's that laser hair removal.
Oh,
I'm telling you. Because I'm ashy too as I'm looking at my leg on the screen. I need some oil. But it ain't no hair.
You are. I want you to stop saying you're acting crazy. That's not crazy. It is emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that you are emoting. And if you wanted to fry some catfish, fry the catfish.
I'm gonna fry some more.
Fry some
I
more.
should have brought y'all
Save
some,
me a
really.
piece, right? Like
Y'all, I ate 3 whole catfish fillets. I'm about to. I don't want to weigh myself tomorrow. Life RX gonna be mad. Like, girl, you just undid everything, and I didn't take my pill today. I should take my pill.
it's okay. It's okay. You ain't want to take that.
I'm taking it tomorrow though, because I can't do this every day. I'm gonna undo my hard work.
You can do it for a little while if you would like, because Life RX and Beat gonna not have you hungry. First of all, you're gonna waste some of that catfish anyway. But I think that life is so, the fact that your grandfather you call him daddy. I think I love that you call him dad. I never said daddy, right? Because I could just call my dad.
Oh,
Like,
I never call anybody dad. Yeah, he's daddy.
I think that when you get to like look back on the older person's life, especially like when they start to get to the end, we thought my grandmother was gonna go this past weekend, which is wild. But seeing the lives that they've impacted and like learning things that you didn't know about them. Your granddad, the way that you talk about him, and you don't talk about anyone like this.
I don't. Because we be raggedy.
Like, I feel for you.
Thank you.
And if you need to cry and if you need to act crazy, because you're not acting crazy, you lost somebody that's important to your heart and your soul, and it's a huge part of who you are as a person. That's a big deal. Let it out.
I think sometimes it's like, I think it's the switching of, like, you can have a high moment, you can have a low, and it's just happening so fast. And this morning I felt numb, and I was like, don't do that. Like,
feel it. Get
up and feel. I was like, maybe I just need to wake up. Let me go for a walk. So I go for a walk, and
did the air feel different? Did it feel different, like when you were out in the creation?
It was almost like a dream sequence, and I was watching myself. Versus like being there for a second. And then I don't know what happened. But something happened. And I'd been restless all night. I couldn't really sleep. I was really worried. And this has happened a lot of times. I feel like I've talked about it here. This happened a lot of times. So I kind of felt like, the boy who cried wolf. But I'm sure everybody understands. You really don't know. But then, like, something was different. And I did ask my girl, Cece. Let me tell y'all how much I tell her. I told her everything. She even gave me a statement to say today, but I didn't think I was going to be able to get it out right. So thanks, girl, but So I'm sending her the text messages and screenshots from the family. I was like, girl, I don't know who said what. These are the players in the game. These are my aunties and my uncle. I gave her like everybody who might have been in the group chat because they were coming to me as like copy and paste and all this other stuff. I was like, what you think this means? And keep it real. How much time you think I got? Like, for real, for real. I know you can't tell me anything official. She was like, well, she said some really nice things and similar things to what you just said, actually. But she was like, yeah, probably a few days, max a few weeks. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's just crazy. And it's crazy how you can talk to somebody and they are there and then next thing they're gone.
That is the part, even though and my grandma always says this, y'all crying and we all want to go to heaven. You know you got to die to get there. She's always said that even before she was, and it's like, yeah, but when it happens, you are just like, bro, where do you go? Like, I know we have the stuff but at the end of the day, like, where are you? Can you see us? Can you feel us? Are you here? When things happen, is that you? What do you get to have memories, or are memories too hard for you and it's not supposed to be hard in heaven? Like, do you see Tupac? Can I talk to Mike? Like, what is, like, where do you actually go? Do you see us all? Do you get to see how much you impacted people's life from that angle? Or are you so like happy now and really blissful that you really are just like,
it's ghetto down there on earth. I'm not going back. Do what I told you to do. And maybe I'll see you again. I don't know. I do wonder. You don't have to literally tell me, though. You could just Tell ChatGPT to tell me, because if I start hearing voices and having visions, I'm gonna be scared.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Death is crazy. This is this is tragic. But there's a young lady that I went to Clark Atlanta with. This was jarring. Right before, on Cinco de Mayo, she died. She got shot in California. This was
I saw
wild.
that
Her name is
story.
Kamisha. Dr. Kamisha Clark. She was actually the 21 from the 09 AKA line at Clark. I was the 21 from Sigma chapter. Anyways, she got murdered. And when I saw it happening, I was like, when I saw the posts, it just stops you and you're like, wow, life really, this is not forever.
Yeah.
Some people get to make it to 81. Some people, my grandma's 90. Some people get to make it to, she was 35, 36.
Yeah.
It's like a ticking, it's like
and there's no preparation for that one.
There's no preparation. Like and that's just like it. The things that you started, the bills that were due, whoever you were crying. Even when I go back to my grandmother and I was looking at her this weekend, I was just like, wow, all the dramatics, all the things you were worried about, everything that mattered, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like at all.
Yeah. It's over. It's done.
Life is very interesting. It's very interesting, and you don't know. You just don't know when it's your time. Do the things. You don't know if you get till 80. Because when you do look at the elders that get to live that's a life that people hope to live, and some people didn't. Like, you lived this full life.
You got to meet grandchildren that were born in appropriate ages. Unlike me, he got to meet great grandchildren. He got to meet my baby, Whitley.
Like,
he never got to see her, but he did get to meet her. He got to know that, like, his youngest child is getting married. He got to find out one of his grandchildren is getting married. All of these different things. He was there for a lot of moments. He got to spend time, and that's really important.
Yeah. When I was with my grandma this weekend, there was a moment where I just stood back and was like, when you're a kid, you don't realize how important the moments are. And how one day this is gonna just really, me and my sister were just at my grandma's house. Like, we were talking about how old people are just their generation was just so different from ours. And a lot of times we only highlight the negative aspects of it. My grandma, she never put a dishwasher in the kitchen.
What?
But there's
But you know what? No, my grandparents didn't have one until they moved into the new house.
They didn't care. I looked at my grandmother's house. She still got pink carpet. Nobody even had. She didn't care. What she cared about was getting the family together. She wasn't like, don't come to my house because it's not together. It's not ready. I don't have the newest thing. That didn't matter. Like, our generation is so different. We're like, no, and not only can you not come over, I'm not going to even let you know what's going on. I mean, it's just this interesting thing that it's like, we don't talk about it enough, how important that generation really was to, like, the glue to family. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I was standing back and I was looking at, she still has the same table from when I was a child running in that house, the same piano, never got it tuned, nothing. But it still is home, never got the bathrooms redone. That's not what she was worried about. She was worried about family. And I'm sitting there looking at my grandmother, and we're all sitting around the table. There's her, my mom, her daughter, me and my sister, my mom's daughters, my niece, Disney's 4 generations sitting in here. It was so beautiful. Like, it was just like, wow. Like, you hope when you get old that you have people around you that love you. You know how many people don't have that? You lived this life, you had the success, you got the money, you now at your wits' ends, and nobody wants to take care of you. Nobody wants to take care of you. I look at my grandma and I'm like, everybody, when she needs something, everybody's like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make sure she's comfortable?
And I saw a story recently. This couple dropped the husband's parents off at a hotel and said that they just weren't taking care of them anymore. It was 2 elderly people over 80 years old. They both had serious health issues. He paid for like a night or 2 at this hotel. And then the woman who worked the front desk, she got concerned because she saw like the guy walking around, the older man walking around the lobby, and he seemed confused. And so they were supposed to check out. They didn't. And they had been brought there with like a sheriff or something. But I'm like, we also don't know what happened in those relationships, but it just makes me wonder, how do you just drop them off there and just leave them. I was thinking about that when you were talking about Meals on Wheels, and there are a lot of old people. Even my grandma was telling me there was a guy who lived across the street that was her friend, and she felt so bad. He passed, and she didn't know it. And he was supposed to come over and like mow her yard for her. He said he would take care of it so she could stop being out there and she could just relax. And he didn't come, so she was mad, and she's like, he didn't even call, like. Whatever. And so some time goes by. She's got other things. And then she was like, wait a minute. Now I'm worried. Goes across the street. He'd been dead for days. Days.
And that's sad.
Yeah. And so, it just makes you think. So anybody, old or not, but especially if they're old or sickly, check on them.
Check on them. And also another angle of it is like, how are you treating people in the world? Because like you said, you don't know the story. Some people aren't taken care of and cared about because of what you put in the world. Like you didn't really pour that into your children. You didn't really pour that into your friends. There's this white woman, her name is Miss Ann. We are forced to call her Aunt Ann, but she's
in your family?
No, she's my grandma's neighbor. But this is like, this speaks to how.
Because I'm like, who forced you to call her that?
There's some people, they're like, that's not. Anyways, this speaks volumes to like who my grandmother was as a person in her life. Aunt Ann, she calls my grandma ever since I was a kid. When she could come over, she would come over. But she's older now too. She's just still younger than my grandmother. She calls my grandmother every morning like clockwork. If my grandma doesn't pick up the phone, she calls the police. We had to. My mom and them had to be like, Ann.
Not every day.
But Ann don't care. She's like, no, Mayor. She calls her Mayor. Mayor is Mayor. She'll be on the intercom. Like.
That's the kind of neighbor I want to be. Just know I'm checking in.
She's checking in. She called everybody in the family. She don't care if she's annoying anybody. She is like, no, I'm gonna be there for Mary. There's this lady, her name is Tawana. And I didn't know this until recently. She was a drug addict a long time ago. My grandmother used to work. She was head of something at Holiday Inn. And she was like one of the first Black women that had that position. Oh. And this lady named Tawana came and she needed a job. They wouldn't hire her because she clearly looked like a crackhead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. Because she is different now. But my grandmother gave her a chance. And even when they tell me the story, I'd be like, oh, you was really putting your neck out there, And she gave her a chance. And in my grandmother's elder years, Tawana comes to the, I saw her yesterday. She comes and she cleans up for my grandmother. She makes sure she's good. She was like, your grandmother she changed the trajectory of my life because she gave me a chance. And that's the type of woman she was and is. She didn't care what you looked like or what you had or what you could bring to the table. She believed in you when you didn't believe in you. And it's just like, you see it now. You see like the people that she's affected and everybody just be coming. I'm like, why are these people like that? They love her. It's just, man.
It's important. So reach out and touch somebody. Do something positive and think about the impact that you're leaving and how do you want to be remembered? I can't stand when niggas be talking about their legacy and all they want to have is a kid. And it's like, but what is the legacy of you? What did you do? How have you impacted the world?
Yeah.
Go watch a Beyonce documentary, get inspired, and then figure out how you can answer that question for yourself. Get out there and do something because having a baby ain't it.
It ain't it. Now they all running around here looking crazy and ashy.
If they can even run.
And if they can talk. You ever been around some kids and they can't talk? You're like, why can't you talk? And ain't nothing wrong with them. You can rap and you got silver teeth. Now, I've always said that one day when I get the funds, I'm going to make a horror film and it's going to be called The Silver-Toothed Children. And it's going to be good.
Are they going to bite?
Oh, they're doing more than that. Them silver teeth kids is acting up. They drinking alcohol. They robbing you. And then they turn into gremlins at the end and eat everybody. It's going to be a little fantasy mix in there.
Supernatural. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's enough of that. I want to share this weird sex story. What is this one about?
Is it weird to go into weird sex after?
I'm gonna skip weird sex. Okay. This lady killed somebody doing some freak shit, and we just gonna skip it this week. I'm sure y'all don't mind. Yeah. You know, scent is a really powerful thing. I love a good fragrance. I love smelling good, but even outside of my fragrances, I really like my natural feminine scent. And I don't know about you, girl, but back in my day, the men have given me tons of compliments on my smell. And with Panty Deal, instead of just getting tears when you're done with a man, you could actually get dollars. You know, you can get dollars from those used panties instead of used up hopes, dreams, and wishes. I mean, Panty Deal is really cool. It's an online platform, and you can sign up, you can set up your shop. You don't have to just sell panties. You could sell panties, you could sell photos, you can sell whatever you want. And there are people there who are into different kinks and things, and they have different interests, and you can kind of see, you know, what the market is looking like, and throw those old Victoria's Secret pink panties out.
Yeah.
But don't just throw them in the trash. Throw them on Panty Deal. Set your profile up.
Yeah, start your new career today. Right now, Panty Deal is offering our listeners an exclusive 50% off the premium membership. Just visit pantydeal.com/cocktails or use the code CockTales, CockTales, to claim your discount. That's Panty Deal, PANTYDEAL. Signing up is free, and with code CockTales, you'll get 50% off the premium membership. So head on over to pantydeal.com/cocktails. The link is in the episode's description.
Right, and we will move on to our topics for the week.
Yes.
So what is this situation? I was looking at the show notes. I'm not familiar.
And I'm shocked that you're not familiar, because I feel like normally you know what's going on in the lives of the people
Usually
more than
my mama
I do.
will catch me up.
I'm surprised your mama ain't catch you up on this, but so when I saw this, I immediately sent it to several women that I know that are currently going through this. So Marlon Wayans, he made a post. He said, he posted a picture of him and his mother and him.
This is for Mother's Day?
Maybe
Or
this
it's
was
just-
for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah. He said, I never got married because I never wanted my mother to be jealous of a woman. I never wanted my mother to feel second to any woman. And that's why he didn't get married. The comments, and I was actually happy to get in here and not see no men in here defending this, because first of all, I will give him his kudos, because I appreciate him for knowing that, because there are so
know
many.
yourself.
Know yourself and know how you. He knew he was not going to really cherish a woman because his mom, she's over everybody, and there are so many people that I literally know. I don't know if you do, but where it's like their mother-in-law causes an issue because the son doesn't either. I don't know a better word other than check her. And it's like the mother-in-law makes all of the decisions for your household. The mother-in-law is telling you how to raise your children. Not giving you advice, but I'm talking about the son is actually like
ruling with an iron fist, like she's fucking Queen Elizabeth.
And she is to like, and it's
To
like,
him,
this
yeah.
is a thing that really happens. So then it made me.
What were the people saying?
The people were mad, but it was a
Okay.
lot of not mad. They were just like, this is weird. This is very weird. Like there is a. There's a hierarchy when it comes to relationships, and that's just naturally how it goes. Especially if you're a married person or if you have kids with someone, if you start to create a family with you and said man, you guys have a baby, that's your family. You have your own branch now. You have your own branch. And while I still think that when you're dealing with people's families, you have to delicately approach the situation, because that's somebody's mama. That's how I move. I would, even if your mom did something disrespectful, if she did something annoying, I would never approach somebody's family in a way that maybe I would approach somebody else. Like that's your mama. That's the person who raised you. You love her. So there is a way that it has to be approached, even if she's out of line. I might be the only person that feels that way, but that's just how I was raised. And so, but there's still a protocol when you create your own household, and some people don't know those boundaries. And specifically, what I have seen in life is there are men that don't set the boundaries with their moms, and it is just a very touchy situation. And it's interesting to see Marlon Wayans be so open about it and talk about it, because I don't think people talk about it enough. This is something, I told y'all, I had joined this program for a minute that Liz told me about, and they talked about this, and I never brought it up because I was like, nobody talks about this stuff, but I've heard people go through this. I've seen people very close to me going through it currently. Somebody wanted to take the baby and have Mother's Day with his mama instead of the baby's mom. Wait a
minute. It's a couple.
Imagine you're married,
Okay.
and your husband is like, well, let's do something for my mom for Mother's Day with the kids, and has nothing planned for you, the mother of the children.
That ain't going down.
It's going down in certain households, and some people speak
Well,
up,
you
and
know
some
what else
people
is
don't.
going down? We're going to be down at the courthouse. Because, baby, I'm not doing this. And this ain't what... Nobody said that this is how it goes. Nobody.
That's not how it's supposed to go. So there's this thing. It's called emotional incest. There's a word for it. It's called emotional incest. It is when mothers act like their son is their husband. Now, obviously, you're not having sex with them, but you are relying on your... Not that there aren't certain things that your children are still going to do for you, like take care of you, but there is a boundary that doesn't get set in some of those relationships, and it causes a problem for the emotional hierarchy when he takes a wife.
Is that like that? That's like when it's specifically the mother and the son. That's the Oedipus complex, right?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. Okay. I paid attention in some of them literature classes, and I've heard somebody use the phrase like a surrogate partner. And so some of these mothers are treating their sons as a surrogate husband. And yeah, you gotta be careful with that. And that's definitely something that you should ask somebody like where they stand with. I've asked that. I personally haven't dealt with someone who has that issue. At least not as far as we've gotten. I don't know a lot of people like that, but I do know some women. Now that I'm thinking about this is my daddy's side. That's why ain't none of them married. Probably I think I just really disagree with a lot of the ways that they approach things. I can tell that his mother would come first.
How do you think you can tell?
Because their relationship, even the relationship with him and his sisters, like he's like this golden child, and they do a lot for him all the time. Like outside of my dad being sick and everything else, it's just like he is spoiled rotten in so many ways. And I think that if anything ever came to it, it's like his mom is always going to take his side, right or wrong, right? And he's always, that is a sign to me sometimes. Like your mama doesn't have to call you out in front of another person, but she could check you later. I don't think there's ever any check-in that happens. I don't know a better phrase either. I don't think that ever happens. And I think that had he ever gotten married or gotten that far with anyone, I think it could be a problem if she didn't approve. Now, if she approves, it's all good. And even I was talking to my cousin, one of my dad's sister's son, and he was telling me about some things that had been happening, and there was like some tension between him and his mother because his mother felt like her son didn't consider her feelings enough in a choice that he made in his life that should have been between him and the woman he was with, not her. And that has caused tension. And when we were talking about it, it had been a while since I caught up with him. And he was like, you're the only person. He was like, I'm so glad you called me today. You're literally the only person in the family that like gets it. And I was like, oh my God, I got to have a psych eval soon because I got to see which way I'm going. Is it maternal or paternal? Because I'm concerned. Because like, what? How do y'all think that that's okay? This is an adult. And like, when your children grow up, you're supposed to do everything. At least this is how I see it. When you are raising a child, everybody who has a hand in raising that child, you do everything that you can to raise them to be an adult who makes good decisions, right? And when they become that adult and they're making these decisions, you respect them, or even if you don't, you move on. But you cannot expect as a mother, I don't think, that you come before his wife and the children that him and his wife make, or whoever he make them with, or get them wherever he gets them from. These kids are his kids. That's his responsibility. Why would you even want that?
Why would you want that?
That's weird.
It's very weird.
It's giving flowers in the attic.
It doesn't.
But parents instead of siblings.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that is just you're like you said. You're not you equipped your children with decision-making skills, and you give them the chance to show you that. And when they take a partner,
it's wild.
It's absolutely disrespectful.
But he has children.
He has children, and that's what I was gonna say. It's interesting because when you do, I think sometimes as a parent, I'm not a parent, but like I do have a dog.
They was mad at us dog moms on Mother's Day.
Mad, but
talk about this is not for you. I ain't trying to get in the way of no real mama. I know it's all just y'all need to laugh sometimes, goddamn. But these bills is high.
These bills is high, and I'm taking care of a senior citizen Yorkie.
I'm taking care of an emotional support animal, and I'm like, baby girl, you supposed to be taking care of me. Clock in. She was asleep, snoring. She did check on me when I really was falling out on the floor and wall sliding. But like this morning, she was not clocked in. And I'm like, bitch, you need to earn your keep. The fuck?
When you
Anyway.
are developing this little human who is your child to be a citizen of this world,
Uh-huh.
you teach them about roles in life. Essentially, you do. Like, there is a role in every part of life. Now, you tweak and do what you please, but when you go to work, when you go to school, you're a student. You don't get to go and be like, and I'm the professor. You're not. You're the
Pick
student.
one.
Yeah. When you get into the workforce, there are roles. You don't get to be the cashier and go to the CEO and tell him what he's gonna do and make the decisions for this company. Now, what you can do is there might be a suggestion box. There's room for suggestions, and you can put
an email.
Yeah, you can send an email. Your voice can be heard, and it might be acknowledged, but it also might not be. And in a household, those boundaries, this is what makes me so nervous about creating these things. I tell my sister and my brother this, and my mom and my dad this all the time. I wish I would have been the first one to start the families, because now that I've seen so much, now I'm like, hell no! What is going on up in this bitch?
I am telling you, when people be like, oh, you need to have a baby. No, I see what the fuck going on around here. And it's like that song, what the hell? What the hell y'all? Like, what is going on, bro? I am scared.
There's just so many things that just go unaddressed. And it's like, can we address them and still have a relationship? Like, can we address them and still be parents? I don't understand what's going on. I'm in a book club. It is called Mothers and Daughters of the Bible.
Okay.
Me and my mom are in it. It was like pulling teeth to get her to join it, but she joined it. And it's moms and daughters, and we read this. There's this book we're reading. It's called Mothers and Daughters of the Bible.
Okay.
And you each month we tackle a different mother-daughter duo. Now I know I got saved and stuff. I am still very much like spicy. Like, it's not. I'm gonna ask a question if I have a question, and if something don't make sense, I don't care who said it. I'm asking the question, Jesus, and I got questions. And so we had got to a part with two of the characters we were focusing on.
Ooh, don't
Naomi.
you start asking
Sorry.
me a Bible story.
It was Naomi is the one who
church.
was the mother-in-law, and her daughters-in-laws followed her, right? Okay, sorry. Okay, I know that I'm right.
I was asleep at church a lot of times and eating church candies.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got it. I'm getting it now. It was Naomi, and her daughter. And we were focusing on the daughter-in-laws and Naomi and Ruth, to be exact.
Okay.
Ruth left her whole family to go follow Naomi after her husband died, because both of her sons died. And so we're in here. We discuss what's going on. I'm not discussing anything with fluff. We need to talk about some truth. So everybody was like, everybody has spiritual mothers, and I was like, I looked at this a totally different way. I was scared to say my opinion, because this is the holy crowd. And so I was like, everyone was like, well, how did you look at them? And I was like, well, I looked at them like how much of a great person Naomi must have been for her daughter-in-laws to want to leave their living family to come follow her in life. And when I look at a lot of situations, whether it's your son has a baby mama, he has a girlfriend, or he has a wife, the in-law situation be real dramatic. It'd be real dramatic. And Naomi must have had a lot of patience, and she must have been very understanding for the women who weren't her blood-related daughters to want to come and live life with her. And so it makes me look at mother-in-laws and be like, what is y'all doing to curate good environments for your new family that has now come into your life? And everybody was like, and then the daughters were looking at their moms like, well, you do be treating Brandon's girlfriend. And they're like, well, that don't got nothing to do with me. No, but it does. Because what are you curating for people? Somebody is coming into your family and they're new. Your rules do not stay here anymore. Not all of them. They're welcome, but you don't get to just come through and bogart shit. Excuse me. Sorry. That really makes me mad. Just like in anything, like, bro, be understanding. If somebody's a new mom and you try to tell her how she's not momming right, what? You know this happened to you one day in your life.
That
Stop
is a gripe I hear from pretty much every mother, and it has got to be frustrating. I know I get frustrated when they tell me what to do with my damn spice cabinet.
What they tell you to do?
Well, first of all, my mama's bland food loving ass is always talking about I got too many spices. Baby, you don't worry about all the flavors I got. It's 31 flavors of this bootylicious bubble gum in my cabinet.
31 flavors of that bootylicious bubble gum.
Raspberry, grape, cherry. Come and get this honey bun. Yummy, yum, baby. Not your ordinary cherry. But anyway, I have lots of spices. They are overflowing, but I like different flavors.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. That is my thing. I don't come to your house until you got too many perfumes and body splashes. Emphasis on splashes. I don't tell you it's too many pillows on every piece of furniture. We ain't got no room to sit our big asses down. I don't do that. So she would say that. I was on FaceTime with my grandma one day and I was cooking and she was like, why you got your stuff over there? And I was like, hold it. First of all, I don't have my spices over there. I have my spices where you think I should have my spices. I moved these spices over here because I was working over here and I had my phone on a tripod because I don't want to touch my phone because I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking. I have everything set up. You don't worry about it.
And you'd be like, why are you worried about this?
Y'all worried about the wrong thing. This is my kitchen. You got something on the rent? And that'll shut it down right there. What you got on it?
They don't shut it down with the women. I know that's still my sister and my sister, she would kind of let me be, but like I don't know if it's a woman thing, but it maybe it is. My mom will do this thing, like her and my sister do this, and it's not in me. They wake up every morning and they start cleaning like slaves. It is absolutely ridiculous.
My mama does that shit too early in the morning, and it's loud.
Like, what are you doing? Like they just start. Everybody's sweeping. They're cleaning
mopping, clanking pots. Why does it smell like bleach at 5 a.m.?
And so my mom, when she comes to my space, she's like, and this is because I'm not doing it. I'm not waking up cleaning like a slave.
I'm not.
I'm tired and I'm okay with the cover on the couch.
I'm okay with all of it. This is my house. If you don't like it, get to stepping.
I live in it. It's okay if it looks like that. They get up and they clean. My sister laughed. She's like, okay, I'm fine. I mean, vacuuming. If the floor doesn't have vacuum marks in it, they don't think the house is clean. What happened to y'all? And I'll be damned. That's my mom and my sister. But if a man's mother came into my life and was like, why don't you have vacuum? Man, you about to get punched in your chin. And I'm like, don't come in here with life stresses already and tell me how to clean. Because not like that.
What we can do is we can take it to hell and we can play tit for tat. I've been listening to this man run down all the shit that you ever did that was fucked up. Do you want to hear my opinion about your shortcomings? Because we can go there and then it's going to be World War III in this bitch and ain't nobody happy.
And now we getting divorced and the baby is fatherless.
Well, it's probably going to be motherless. You and your mama can raise the baby since y'all want to know every fucking thing. Shit. Like,
you got your degree.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing. Yeah.
But it really made me think like, okay, if I do get blessed with a husband, please.
Hello? Can you hear me? Daddy,
They
help
say
me.
you know our deepest desires. Okay, I do wonder, like, should there be a pre-conversation?
Absolutely.
Does everyone need to come in the room and be like,
well,
no.
Me and man, we need to have a conversation.
But I'm
before
saying
she jumps in.
We have a conversation, but then I also do want the mother to know, I am not your enemy. I am supposed to be, you take on a daughter. Let's be like Naomi and Ruth.
Ooh,
and this can happen if you have patience and understanding, and I do too. There is room for both of us, friend.
Then she be like, I ain't one of your little friends. But I think, okay, that part, I get what you're saying. I think it would depend on what that woman's personality is. Do me and him talk? Do we think that she would be receptive to this? Is it better if we all talk? Or will she feel ambushed? Because I care about the results of the conversation. Is it better for you to talk to her? Is there somebody, do you have a sister? How your sister feel about me? What's going on? I would just hope.
You handle that before I step in.
Yeah.
You handle that. That's your family. Just like if it's my family, I'm going to handle everything first. And then we trickle it down. Just so, again, there's that respect there. Because it's just like when Marlon Wayans posted that, I was like, how much more weirder would this be if a daughter was like, I never got married because I didn't want my dad to feel beneath any man. That's weird.
Everybody gonna think they doing this. That's what I would think. Like, girl, why you so in love with your daddy? Something ain't right here.
And his mom is married. And I just wonder, does she look at that and be like, son, take that down?
his mom married to his dad or to someone else?
I don't
Where his
know.
daddy at, I wonder. Because I wonder what his dad thinks about it. And what his baby mama or mamas think about it. And he got 11 siblings. What they think?
What do they think? And what are
'Cause
your
some of them
kids
are
going to be
married.
like? You're not producing kids that
Right?
can
Yeah.
go out here and perform well as far as being partners in anything at that matter. Like, I really thought
Because where is even Sean at? I ain't seen Sean at none of the Wayans stuff. They done been getting honored and everything. Where is he at?
I don't know.
The one that did the show with him.
Where
And why is he all right? Has anybody? Do we need to do a welfare check? Has anybody checked on Sean Wayans?
That's a good question.
Because
forgot
I
all
haven't
about
seen
him.
him. Something is suspicious.
I got questions, and I just know that if you're out here acting like that with your sons, you are doing them a disservice. You don't want your son to find love.
So I saw you put something on the notes about, and you mentioned it, something about you feel like there's a hierarchy in relationships, and I think you included like outside of the mother and the child, like siblings and friends.
Yes.
What do you think the hierarchy should be, or like for you?
When marriage comes into play?
Yes.
I think the hierarchy is, as hard as this might even be to do, and I'm not saying that you don't take advice or ask other people for their opinions, but
who all is involved in this hierarchy? Tell me that first.
In your household? Okay, if we're just talking about the household.
No. I'm saying when you're about to say like, okay, your mother, or y'all's parents, your siblings, your close friends, your partner, your kids, like who are you including in the hierarchy?
Well, for real, for me and my husband.
It's nobody else.
There is nobody else as far as like decision making.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's like not to say that you won't ask for advice. Let's say you're buying a home.
So then it's not a hierarchy. It's like, bitch, it's me and my man, and that's it.
But it's, I guess I don't really know what to call it. It still would be a hierarchy because you might be like, let's get some advice from people that have been through this. But what I'm saying is your mom doesn't come in and be like, this is the house I think you should get. And then you're like, my mom said we should get this house, so that's what we're getting. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
My mom said this is how we should raise a kid, so this is what we're doing. No, that's not how this is going to go. Like as far as the decision making, we can get advice all day. Because we're human. You're going to call your friend and be like, hey,
let's say it's like this versus her coming in and trying to make a decision so that we can stay on track with the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
If you and your husband cannot agree for whatever reason.
Who's the first person I'm asking?
If you ask your sister, your brother, your best friend, and your mother or y'all's parents, whose opinion matters the most?
It depends on the topic. If it's health, my dad. And directly after him, my brother. If somebody's sick or there's some sort of illness is going on, the first one that I'm running with, like, it's like, my dad said this and it's Bible. I'm going to speak like that about my dad and anything health related.
Okay.
If it's something life, it's going to be between my sister and my mom.
Life like what? Like relationship? Like
no, like
moving through life, decision, like
raising children, what's good for them, behavioral things. If it's not, we're not talking to a doctor. If we're just like, have you been through this? Or like, I'm going to naturally go to my mom because I trust her opinion. And she actually is like, in my eyes, she has represented what a outstanding mother has been. It's not like, you know, some people be like, oh, never mind. I feel like people's feelings will get hurt. But there's just some situations where it's like the people, you gonna love your parents regardless. But then there's the love your parents regardless, but maybe they were
not a great parent.
Maybe they really weren't a great parent.
Every parent is not a great parent.
They aren't. But you still gonna love them, but they left you and you try and find them on Ancestry.com and then you find them and now you're like, they're the greatest parent of all. And it's like,
or you like, I never should have paid for that damn subscription. I want a refund.
Right. Or they told you they wish they never had you. There were moments like that. Like I never had moments like that with my mom where she was like, I'm not going to stop drinking when I'm pregnant. There are people that are smoking and drinking. I saw this lady at the zoo. She was pregnant and smoking. Like, what are you doing?
What was she smoking?
It was a vape. I don't know if it was weed in it or cigarettes, but you don't need to be doing that. And I don't care if you get offended if you listen to this show and smoking pregnant. You need to stop. Give that baby a fighting chance. Anyways. So if there was anything like life related, I would go to my mom. However, I would not let my mom disrespect the man of my household.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that.
She needs to tell you.
Yeah, or I'm going to tell her. Like,
no, I'm saying when it comes to like, she wants to tell you something. Don't come and tell my husband this is what it is. You talk to me.
And then we'll figure this out. Yeah.
Me and my husband will figure.
Me and my husband will figure this out. And
Thank you for your services.
Yeah. Thank you for your services. And the same for him. Don't be going off on my mama. Now, if it's something that's just entirely disrespectful, that's one thing, but it needs to be handled delicately. This is your mother. I'm not going to do that to your mom. I had a situation like that with an ex, and his mom did something that was very rude to me. And
in your face.
In my face.
Okay.
And it was very rude. But I think women, when you are faced with something like that, you have the opportunity to sit back and observe. Because I think those are signs that you can see if someone is going to always pick their mother over you. And
True.
He didn't. He checked it immediately. And I was like, And he didn't do it disrespectfully. He was like, do not talk to her like that ever again.
Yeah, like to let something like that slide is wild. Yeah. I be having to give warnings about my family. My mama wouldn't act like that. My mom, I actually think my family would be too nice. And I'd be like, don't think that means something. You're still checking with me about how I feel, okay?
Yeah. That's how my dad is. He's too nice.
Yeah, other people, you know, I'd be like, okay, look, I'm going to have a conversation with them because I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone because I don't think, at least with my family, that I would even bother to have conversations with other people. I won't say they don't matter, but I want a good result out of it. So I'm going to have to talk to them separately and calmly in a different environment probably than whatever happened. But I will give a warning, like, please don't take this person's actions personal. I can talk about it and I can check them, but like I just got to give warnings about some people, and I wish I could just like, you know, control alt delete them. And that's frustrating because it's also like, why do people choose to show up like that in family situations, especially when it's like nobody did anything to you, there is no like actual issue. You just decided you were gonna be a fucking bitch today, and like, why? What happened to you, or what didn't happen to you? But whatever it is, it has nothing to do with a person that you're projecting your feelings on. And so, like, what's going on? I don't like that, and
I don't like it
it's
either.
frustrating. I have dealt with that, and I'm just like, you know, it's some people. I'm just gonna have to add you to the prayer list because you're obviously sick in the fucking head, and something's wrong with you, and you might need to get medicated.
Yeah.
And not with alcohol, with an actual prescription drug.
You might need to. It's something with the women. I feel like women always do this.
Yeah, the women are definitely more difficult. I will say my dad is not very nice, but I'm like, don't even worry about him because, well, y'all know the stories. I won't rehash it today. But my actual dad, it's just like, we ain't even gonna worry about it. He don't know nothing. Like, he's crazy. But I do think it's weird when the women are like that. I don't know. And the mothers, like, I've even had a talk with my mother. Think you a little too much when it comes to my brother.
Now that be a conversation when you talking to your own mama about your own brother.
Yeah, because I've seen it like lots of different ways. And sometimes I feel like the sisters will be gang with the mama and feel like it's almost like nobody's good enough. Nothing that the boy chooses is right. And it's like you try to micromanage them. And I am so glad that me and my sisters are all on the same accord and we'll tell my mom and call her out when she's doing too much. And she is receptive. Like, I don't think she always realizes. And sometimes she's like, that's my baby boy. Okay, we know. But he ain't a baby no more. We got to let him grow up. Because you want to take care of somebody forever? Because that's what will happen. You're raising a man-child. Is that what you want? No. Let him go. She was even hitting me up this weekend trying to get me. This had nothing to do with relationships, but she was telling me like to do certain things for him. I said okay, but I didn't do them. I just said it to shut her up. She don't halfway be listening to me anyway.
I don't want not one son, not one. I've said this from forever.
I didn't even want a boy fucking dog. I didn't care what nobody told. I just
I do like boy dogs. I don't want another girl.
Why not?
They're just too difficult. Shy, it took a long time to get Shy, like, just to be a normal fucking dog. And she's still not even a fucking normal dog. She doesn't like the grass. She screams when she sees the dog. She's so emotional all the time. It's just a lot. The period thing was a lot. Like,
Willie's just a horny girl. And I'd be like, girl, you can't back it up every time you see a pit bull. I get it, sister. We see each other because I feel like there's an equivalent to a pit bull to a man. You know what I mean? Like how Mufasa was a handsome lion, right? And then Simba grew up to be handsome too, but it was just like Mufasa was different. You know how some of the animals be in the movies. I feel like them strong pit bulls where it's just like you've been pumping iron. Like you, low-key look like you got out of prison.
Her play with him. I
don't let her play with him.
I'm
We see
I'm
them.
sorry.
And I'm like, oh, no, baby girl, I got to pick you up because we might be on the elevator together. That girl has been backing that ass up like Juvenile was on.
Are you going to get her fixed?
I am. I just haven't gotten around to it because I really need to be, I want to be there for the 2 weeks because she will take them stitches out. And all I need is to come home and her damn her uterus will be gone. Some of her innards are just laying around. I don't know. Some might be all off. I don't want that to happen. And I do baby her. And then I've also noticed this. She be real flirtatious with the men.
Shy is like that too.
And I'm like,
She
you
will
are
take your
such
man.
a thirsty bitch. Like, girl, relax, you horny girl. You horny girl. We saw a puppy pit bull at Fox Brothers. I was at Fox Brothers again this
Fox
weekend.
Brothers need to go ahead and run the shit.
Run it. Because my brother was like, oh, can we go to that barbecue place that we had before? Hey. Can we go to that barbecue place? And I was like, absolutely. I was thinking about it. I had some crawfish, but I was like, I can eat this. I'm going to get a twofer today. All of my face. Anyway, little fresh pit bull. What color do they call them blue when they're like that grayish color?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it was a cute one, but I'm like, this is a baby. He ain't got his muscles yet. They gonna get, he was probably a few months because you know how they be little. I mean, big when they're little. Anyway, she tried to break away from the table and get over there. I said, you are a horny girl. I've got to get this under control. You've got to get fixed because I'm too young to be a grandmother.
My dog
not
is
ready.
so opposite. Shy she hates every dog.
Really?
Every single one. I don't know what happened to her. She's from Chicago, so that's
Something might have happened before you got her, you know?
definitely. This was a good discussion.
It was. Do y'all have mama's boy? And are you raising a mama's boy? Because we got a lot of mamas. We got a lot of mamas here. Maybe you should check yourself and see, like, you might think that you're being loving and guiding, but ask yourself,
Am I doing too much?
Am I being controlling?
Am I doing him a disservice? And I think you can still be a mama's boy and in a healthy way.
What's healthy about a mama's boy?
You can still, love your mom and be like, we're going to honor my mom too. And like, I want her to be a part of all the things and stuff. But there's just a way you got to go about it. You got to make sure that you let your mom know who is the head bitch in charge.
Who is the A to B I C? And it better be me.
Yeah. I mean, or for me, I think for some women that can work. And they're normally the type of women who've never left their hometown. And that's just how this goes. I can't do that. Like I am a loving person, but we have to share this platform, Miss Ma'am. This is not.
I'm not sharing no platform. You just need to get in line. You can come or you can get left off the invite. I'm sorry. I thought I told your mom.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
But she can do what she wants to do. No. Because that would only happen if you was being disrespectful and cutting up. And you cut up, get cut off. How about that? I ain't got no husband though. Y'all know that.
I don't either, y'all. So we were sitting here role playing. We was role playing.
It's like playing The Sims. So I can't wait to play when I get home. I just love The Sims. I've been trying to play for 3 weeks. That shit wouldn't load.
Maybe that'll be good for me.
You
now.
should.
Okay.
Do you have a desktop computer though?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get The Sims, girl. It's just fun.
Do you gotta pay to play it?
Yeah.
Okay,
you have to buy it, but it's not like it's not a subscription.
Oh, okay. You just pay for it.
And it's on sale right now.
Let me go ahead and get it.
You can probably get like the base game for like $10.
And what are we doing? And you just running around opening doors.
No, you create a whole life. You can have a family. You can have kids. You can get a job. You can not get a job. You do all sorts of things. I really want a PC desktop, like a true gaming desktop, because I was like, you know what? Instead of all these crazy ideas that I have that never turn into anything, maybe I should just play The Sims and make The Sims be the stories that like I ramble on about and like play that out and put it on YouTube. Because people got like little YouTube soap operas, basically, and dramas and stuff.
Can my sim meet your sim?
No.
Okay.
It's not like it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
They tried that, but it was making it too hard. But you could show pictures.
Okay.
You could share stuff.
Cool.
It's a fun game. It's a great stress reliever. Anyway, I guess that's it for today.
Yeah.
We will move on. It's time for advice. If you would like some advice from two girls who are just trying to figure it out, I'm just a girl. Email us, advice at cocktailspod.com.
Okay, this one is titled 8 Months In and Just Learned He Has a 9-year-old. Okay.
What the fuck? What the helly? That's our new favorite thing. What the helly?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, ladies, I love you and all that jazz, but I need to get right into it. After being single a little over a year, I met this beautiful man on Tinder, and surprisingly, we hit it off and have been together since our first date 8 months ago. He was honest with me. Then he was on Tinder looking for fun and didn't anticipate meeting someone that he could build a relationship with. Wait a minute. He was honest. Did I read it right? He was honest with me, but the title of it was, okay. He was honest with me. Then he was on Tinder looking for fun and didn't anticipate meeting someone that he could build a relationship with.
I guess that's the honest part, that he didn't want a relationship, but he kept the child hidden.
So he wasn't honest.
No, he was only honest about that one thing is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I didn't either. And yet, here we are falling for each other.
Are you sure?
He lives about 30 minutes away from me in New Jersey. I'm in New York, and always comes to my place or date night near me. When I asked why I couldn't go to his place, he said he was clearing up a situation with an ex. I read that to mean they were still involved or at least lived together and proceeded with caution.
Don't proceed. Stop.
So much. Just
turn around. Take the exit ramp.
Fast forward a few months, and I told him what I really liked about him was his honesty. So he decided it was time to tell me the truth and admitted to having a daughter from a previous relationship. We have had our own pregnancy scares and have talked about children, and this man never said he had a child. We asked each other explicitly about that during our first date and proceeded, believing we were both never married and had no children. The daughter lives in another state and was seeing his daughter regularly up until around the time we met. And her mom moved even further away. I guess my question is, do we continue on this path of growing in love and trying to build a future, or do I cut my losses and get back on the apps? If it helps, I'm 45 and he's 41. Signed. Happily ever after or nah. Please keep me anonymous. P.S. If we keep this going, I'll have a cocktail for you too. LOL. Ain't nothing to laugh out loud about. It ain't one thing to laugh out loud about.
The answer is or no.
This is sometimes, and this is clearly something that has to keep being.
I'm trying to reread it to see, did I miss something?
It has to keep being reiterated because maybe we're eating too much protein. Maybe there's something in the food that we're eating that is making us like this, because I don't like when people highlight one good quality about somebody and you take it and you pizza roll it around the whole person. This is not an honest person. And you took one good thing and you made it the whole person. And we have layers. We do. I can't even answer this for you because to me, it comes down to, what do you want, friend? What do you want? I know what I want. So I'm answering this based off of what I would want. I don't think I can handle someone who lied about a 9 años-year-old child. The child is 9 años years. The child
is years.
The child is niño años. Like, that's a 9-year-old human child. Like, you have to think about, you're 41. You're 45 and he's 41. And so if you've shared this story with your friends and if no one has said this to you, and I'm saying this as gently and as clearly as I can.
Gently.
If this is the life that you want, which is being with someone who, if they can lie to you about a 9-year-old child, imagine what else there is to explore in him. I'm basing this off of my experiences. I do not want a family and a child so badly that I will go to this. I won't even call it settle because maybe to this for you, this isn't settling. I don't know you, but this ain't it. The child is 9 years old and he always comes to you. This is why we end up in situations where you're killing someone and now there's a story
I
on
didn't think that's where it's
oxygen. I mean, because this is
But
just like,
you're
this is
right,
not,
you're right.
this is not what, this isn't.
How would you feel if you were 9-year-old Mamacita's mama and this is a situation and you find out while you just trying to relax, listen to CockTales, and you hear a story that sounds all too familiar, and you hear that your baby daddy been running around town after being on Tinder,
lying again? This ain't the first time he did this.
and denying your child. Would you want
Again.
that? Also, I wasn't gonna say it, but I am. How many people were in your classes growing up? I'm just wondering. Because the reasoning skills don't seem to be there. This doesn't make sense. You had a pregnancy scare. By the grace of God, you good, right? You don't want to have... I wouldn't want to have a child with someone who would be okay for whatever reason, because I don't think there's ever an excuse for this, wouldn't tell me about a child. We're talking about children. We're talking about never being married. You don't have children, and he's telling you he's never had children, or even if he alluded to it, it's just like, you have a 9-year-old. Did you just find out about the child? Is this a new development? Like, what's tea?
This is a new development.
And you forgot. Or like, what's going on? And why you got so much damn time? Where does the baby live? One of them is in New York. One of them is in New Jersey. That, whatever.
But that's why I say, like, ma'am, you have to really think about the type of, not just that you want a family and you want a baby and you want a husband. You have to think about the type of life that you want. And I'm here with you. I really am, because I one time exited a relationship because I watched someone that I kind of loved him. But I watched how he handled his family life. He had 2 kids. And I watched how he put me before his children. And there are women that would honor that and be like, this is how it should be. As someone who really values family, I cannot respect that. You decided to bring children into this world and you are not taking care of them the way that I see fit. What type of life do you want for yourself? If you want it to be with someone who lies about having a child, go all in, dive in. If you want somebody to honor you and your child that you might give them, this ain't it.
Are you trying to live like you're on an episode of Good Times? Or do you want to live like you on an episode of The Jeffersons? Are we going to live in the deluxe apartment? Are we going to have a good life, a great life? Or are we going to be dealing with people putting irons on their back? I mean, this just all a mess.
And if you just want a baby, go do the thing that you can do. The injection. What's it called? Where you can have a baby.
Artificial insemination. Go do that down at the lab.
Because
down
at this
lab,
rate,
not with this man.
You're going to still be by yourself. Like if you do this with him. Bro,
he going to be back on Tinder, getting another one, and he ain't going to be making you nothing but promises and more siblings for your child.
You have to look at people's behaviors. And
While
I'm not
he
saying
on the internet talking about his damn legacy.
Yeah. You have to look at people's behaviors. I'm not saying they can't change them, but you also have to look at, are people doing the work to change them?
Girl, give it up. This ain't it. You said, should I something, or nah. It's just or nah. Hard stop. Leave it alone for real. Sorry to go in on you, but girl,
stop.
I hope you was just going through something. Maybe it was period time. We all make irrational decisions at some time, but like you don't want that, because it sounds like you do want children one day and other things. Leave that shit alone. It's time to move on to CockTales, because this advice is just too much. And you don't make no cocktails till you make different decisions with a different man.
You the next one gonna be a cocktail.
No, the hell it's not.
It need to be a revelation.
Okay.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
Now it's time for the cocktails. If you have a cocktail that you would like to send in with somebody who is not denying their children, please email us cocktails@cocktailspod.com. Okay. So this one says a surprise golden shower.
I miss those.
I do not care for them. I did get on the internet for a minute. I saw what was going on with Diddy and them.
You know, the trial started.
And I saw what was going on with them golden showers all down
And
the
the baby shower, the baby oil dips.
The baby shower.
The baby oil dips in the tub.
And the pool's in the room.
I want to know what was, how did we, if I don't want to walk in the baby bottle pool, I'm not walking in the baby oil pool.
Let me not get started on this because I got a lot of feelings about that. Whew. Okay, anyway, back to this girl in her golden shower. I hope this isn't ending in sadness and I hope you like it. Oh, Lord. Okay, hey, beautifuls. I'm going to try to keep this short. You did not, but that's all right. So, like, it's the whole page. It's not short, but that's all right. You was probably having a wonderful time. Okay, so one night I went to an R&B party with my homegirls and my little situationship was there with his homeboys. I
went to an R&B party a few weeks ago. Thought I could handle it, bitch. I was in there crying. Sorry, go ahead.
At the R&B party?
The R&B party.
What? Were they playing Keisha Cole?
It was a lot of R&B.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, I was surprised to see his fine ass, but still very excited. I planned on trying to see him after, but I wasn't really sure if that was going to happen. He came up to me and my homegirls, and we all started chatting it up, and he started feeling on my booty. I started singing a song that's not appropriate, and I already knew where the night was going. We were both lit, so a time was about to be had. Let's fast forward to the after party. He meets me at my hotel room at about 1 a.m. We take some shots, and we get to it. I start to suck his dick, and he tells me to get on top. Ooh, I can't do that like I used to, y'all. My hip be cracking. So anyway, so I do. We so into it. He asking me, do I miss him? Telling me he loves me, saying this his pussy, and he is going to nut in it. Ooh. Y'all got to be careful. Now, I'm not on birth control, but I'm very much like YOLO. You be careful, girl. Be careful. So I'm like, yeah, daddy. Nothing your pussy.
People really be doing this.
I did it before. That was not a good decision. Horrible decision. Do not. Anyway, we changed into different positions and he's still talking his shit. He was very vocal this night and I loved every bit of it. He even asked me if I was keeping the baby and what we were naming it. Ooh, he putting a spell on you, girl. Y'all, I'm so delusional. I told him, of course, and it was going to be a junior. It felt like we was making love. Anyways, we had sex for at least 2 hours and we kept taking very small breaks, like a few minutes. He was turning me every which way but loose, being very demanding about what he wanted and how. I obeyed every command. I was in heaven. I knew we were both drunk, but he was more drunk than I understood in that moment. The man wouldn't nut, which has never been a problem for him before. And every time we stopped, he was like, nah, and wanted to go again. He wanted that nut and I wanted him to have it. So I get on my knees to suck his dick again. And he is finally telling me he's about to nut. So I do not stop. I wanted it in my mouth. I was going to swallow it. Ooh, girl, y'all was having a blast. Next thing you know, he starts doing a sound like he is coming. So I continue to suck and swallow. But then I realized something wasn't right. Oh, shit. I see where this is going. So I stopped swallowing and my mouth started filling up with a liquid. I popped his dick out so fast and the next thing you know, he's peeing on my fucking titties. I added the fucking. But he don't realize he doing it. I'm also in shock. So in the midst of it all, I swallowed the pee that got in my mouth and shortly realized what the fuck I just did. When he saw me wet, he was confused and I didn't say much. He did not realize he peed instead of nutted and I was speechless.
Is that like a thing? I didn't know that was you could get the two mixed up.
He was drunk. Oh. He was really, really drunk and they didn't realize it. So anyway, he then goes to pee in the bathroom and I get in the shower. Luckily, his pee was clear and didn't smell. Well, bitch, was he drunk or high? Anyways, you would think I would have ended the night, but no, you are a nasty girl. Somehow, some way, after I got out the shower, one thing led to another and my toes are in his mouth and he starts to eat my pussy. your toes are in his mouth and he eating your pussy, bitch. You flexible. Okay. I turn around for back shots and he finally nutted and it was in me. He passes out sleep immediately and he is hanging off the bed. I kind of drag him into a better position and I join him with sleep. The next morning, he left and went to work. He had no recollection of the night. He blacked out after we took them shots. He doesn't remember peeing on me, nutting in me, and sex after like the first 10 minutes. Other than the pee, a time was really had. The night goes into the books. He apologized and still does when it comes back up, but I just laugh at it for now. Truly a moment I'll never forget. Sorry for the long email. Hope y'all enjoyed this embarrassing story. Laughed my ass off. P.S. We also, well, that got cut off. That was a good one. That's a wild story. And I'm glad you had good spirits because I wouldn't.
She's pregnant now. And I know it.
That's what I was thinking.
Send us the link to your baby shower registry. I know you're pregnant. That's absolutely
You're
wild.
having a cocktail, baby. What you gonna name her? Chardonnay?
And speaking of cocktail babies, did I tell you that there was a girl, she slid in my DMs. She invited me to her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And she had sent in a cocktail before and she invited me to her wedding. And I really was going to try to make it, but I couldn't make it.
Man.
I couldn't make it. But I was like, you know what?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I can't remember her name, but I just felt so honored. I was like, oh my gosh, I would absolutely come. Kiki and I would come. Mm-hmm. If y'all have baby showers, if you have weddings and it is inspired somehow, you had a cocktail and you got pregnant, you have a baby shower, and we can make it, I will come. Especially if you're in Atlanta. Yeah, there needs to be food, and I need a little cocktail. And
I don't eat as much as I used to because of Life RX, but like a bitch still wanted a little taste.
Yeah, if you really just want us to come, just get the Delta flight. Get us a Delta flight to come.
All right, now we're getting carried away. Anyway, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. We will be doing a Patreon Live at the end of the month with Good Moms Bad Choices.
Yes, I can't wait to catch up with them.
Yes. So I think that is the last Thursday of this month, like the 29th, something like that. Check the description box for the links to everything. Make sure you sign up for all the things. Join the book club, take the trips. Do all of that fun stuff, and keep tuning in every week. We appreciate you guys, and I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Make sure you're also following us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Sweet on the dry. Bye. Bye. Bye.